You are Locked On Dodgers Postcast, part of Locked On Sports Los Angeles on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
How about that? Let's go, Dodgers! Oh, so exciting, so thrilling, relieving. So many adjectives to describe my emotions right now. So first, let me start with this. Sorry I'm late. Couple things going on there. First of all, I wanted to let a few of the fans get out of the stadium, get back to the car to join us here on the Locked On Dodgers Postcast. Second thing, that game was like 2 hours and 25 minutes. So I was doing another job and rushing home and didn't make it. So that's half my fault. But at no point in time did I think we'd have a 2 hour and 22-minute game or whatever the heck it was. It's definitely under 2:30. That's for sure. And the third thing is I wanted to watch some of the post game with Vassay in the clubhouse, interviewing Kike, the excitement. I mean, we watched after the clinching of the division, and that was exciting, but this is a whole different level. Moving on to the NLCS for the first time in since 2020, probably, and beating the Padres. So thrilling to stick it in their face. Tatis and Machado can suck on it. Where are the juvenile antics now? Taunting the fans, huh? Didn't do that tonight. Probably because you didn't get any base hits. 2 total. So many awesome things that happened in this game. I kind of wish it was a little bit more of a rout. This was a nail biter for sure, because you know the Padres are capable of hitting the long ball. By the way, I'm Pete Fox, host of the Locked On Dodgers Postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, covering sports in LA dating back to 2007 for ESPN LA and NBC Sports Radio. You can also listen wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. That's where you find Jeff and Vince doing the Locked On Daily Dodgers podcast. But Arise, not really a home run guy, but hasn't had a great series. So I don't know that I was terribly worried about him. Tatis, obviously, that dude can launch it. 0 for 4 tonight. So tasty. And Machado 0 for 3. Profar 0 for. Merrill 0 for. Bogarts 0 for. They had 2 hits. Arise and Higashioka. That is dominance from the bullpen, from the starting pitching. Everybody who took the mound for the Dodgers tonight did their job. How are we feeling out there, Dodger fans? Is this momentum gathering and rolling at the perfect time? Yes, Craig. And I wasn't too terribly surprised by this. Yamamoto was great. I had that feeling that this is more of a football mentality. By the way, here's the Yamamoto stat. Retired the first 6 for the first time all season. But he's got like a 7+ ERA in the first inning. So when he got out of the first and then the second, I felt fantastic. Like that was some good stuff right there. But the football mentality that crossed my mind, it's tough to beat the same team with the same pitcher twice. They do that in football all the time. You know, when it comes to regular season and they go into a playoff or a bowl game or whatever, they were like, well, we played them once in the regular season. And then sometimes you have to meet a team 3 times. This is more of an NFL thing. It's tough to beat a team 3 times. I just thought, look, Yu Darvish was great tonight, but it's tough to beat a team twice in the same series. And we know about Yu Darvish in games, decisive games. Game 7 for the Dodgers, 17 against the Astros, laid an egg because he was injured. Definitely not injured today, but his record now is 0-6 in decisive games. 6 2/3, just gave up 3 hits, but 2 runs. Home run to Teoscar, home run to Kike. And the bat flip from Kike was outstanding. Everything about this game was outstanding. I mean, I listened to a good portion of it on the radio racing home. That was cool too, though. I mean, you could feel the energy. It got to be a little annoying on the radio because the fans were so jacked up and energetic. It was just the speakers were just screaming at you for an hour and a half that I was in the car, whatever it was. And Victor is right here. Not only were the Dodgers dominant on the mound, they pitched smart, great control, great location. This is what I've been asking for all season. Pitch better with location, pitch smarter, wiser, better pitches in better situations. The pitch from Yamamoto to Bogarts struck him out in I think it was like the 5th, maybe. Down and in was absolutely nasty. I mean, that was painting the black, and it absolutely froze Bogarts. He had no clue what to do with that because he was not looking for that. Struck him out looking in the 5th. Just a smart pitch, dominant. He was bringing the heat, great location, off speed. The splitter was working. I mean, I don't know if that's as dominant as we've ever seen him. I mean, it's up there for sure. His first start back from the IL was also very, very dominant. But to beat the Padres in a decisive Game 5 at the Ravine in front of a sold-out Dodger Stadium and keep Tatis, Profar, Machado, all of those guys hitless. Oh, so good. That tastes fantastic. Going down smooth. Even Phillips was painting black. All of them were. I mean, that's the thing that you hope they can keep up. And I think we can now look back to say Dave Roberts' moves in Game 4 to keep his foot on the gas, keep the bullpen rolling, not run somebody out there that's just like eating innings because they want to save arms for this Game 5 was the right move. Because the Padres were flat, run down and listless. They need some Vita Vegemin. They didn't score in 2 games. And the last time they scored was Game 2 in the 3rd inning. Forgot the exact number. Was that 18 and 6, like 24, 25 innings? They kept them scoreless. 23. I don't know. It's a lot. 2 games and then 6. So 18 and 6 is 24. Maybe it's 23 and 2/3, I think is what it was. That is just kudos to the bullpen. And screw you to all you naysayers out there that, oh, the bullpen's tired. I'm not saying you guys, I'm more of the pundits. Bullpen can't keep this up. Dodger pitching's a problem. It's a liability. They're too injured. They're not going to be able to keep it up. Guess they proved all of you wrong. I was a bit of a negative Nancy a couple of nights ago, but that again I was going down the road of being reverse psychology man. I did it again tonight. Wagered my prize picks on, I think, Tatis and Merrill, or maybe it was Cronenworth. I wagered that the Dodgers would strike out or that Darvish would have 4 strikeouts, which he did. So all my reverse psychology worked. I had to pick at least one Dodger because that's how it works with prize picks. You can't just pick one team. You got to pick one from each team. So I went back and looked at Game 2 when Darvish dominated the Dodgers in that 10-2 win for San Diego. Who got hits in that game? It was Muncy and Luxy. Over, both of them. So they didn't do me any good either. But really, the Dodgers, they have 4 hits. So this was and now we know why it only took 2 hours and 20 some odd minutes. Pitching was dominating. Kike got one squared up 428 feet in the 2nd inning. Then Teoscar doubled the lead, some insurance, which when you're up 1-0 and your pitching is dominant, you're like, damn, 2 is a big lead. I feel like we got this in the bank. My wife was like, babe, aren't you excited the Dodgers are moving on? Like, quiet. Slow down. Game's not over yet. Stop that. I love when non-fans assimilate themselves into the postseason because they can tell it's a big deal, right? They can feel the energy. And they start doing things like that. And the hardcore fans are so superstitious. Let's not count our chickens just yet. Slow down. Hey, Zeus, this is classic. Got to respond to all the YouTube arguments I got into this week. I took the high road because I felt like it would jinx the Dodgers. I'm like, I'm staying out of this. If you are a regular viewer here to the Locked On Dodgers postcast and you left comments here on YouTube, I did not read them. I have not read them in a while because I did not want to start talking trash and have it come back to haunt me. It did not. All of our reverse psychologizing. What is the form of that word? Reverse psychologizing. I think that's it. Has worked out. 2-0. Dodgers move on to face the Mets, which begins on Sunday in the NLCS. How sweet it is. I'm Pete Fox, Locked On Dodgers postcast on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, the place to hang out when every game is done. You can also listen wherever you find your podcast on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Make sure you check out Jeff and Vince on the Locked On Dodgers podcast, recapping this one and this whole series. We'll come back and we'll get into, I don't know, what it looks like in the future, what this series against the Mets looks like, how we think the Dodgers will match up. Can they keep this rolling? Tell you that right now. Hell yes, they can. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by Robinhood. Robinhood Retirement. With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually reserved for high society. Now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn listen to these numbers. They're fantastic. Don't just let them glaze over. This is a real deal. These numbers are phenomenal. The resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn a very liberal 4.5% APY on uninvested cash. That's just money that's sitting there like a savings account. Receive unlimited 1% deposit bonuses and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on your IRA account. Robinhood Gold provides the privilege of high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for just $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply. For product specific disclosures, visit robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risks. Rates may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC. Tonight's episode also brought to you by PrizePicks. I forgot to mention that. I already gave them a little bit of love because I had a sacrificial lamb. That's what I did tonight with my PrizePicks. I picked against my heart. I'm like, not doing that. I'm like, I'm going to pick against the Dodgers. That way, if they lose, at least I can get something out of this night, right? But they didn't, so I'm fine with it. It's not like I bet a lot. It was $5, maybe 10. I can't remember. I think it was 10 on Wednesday and 5 tonight. My account is almost drained, but it's worth it. Totally worth it. Moving on to the NLCS to face the Mets. Now, I know the Dodgers faced the Mets this season at some point, but it's been a while. Let's look up and see how they did. I feel like the Dodgers did well there at Citi Field, but that was a different Mets team. Totally different Mets team. I don't know that it's a different Dodgers team, but the fact is that the Dodgers got it rolling at the right time. And to come out of this series, winning the last 2 games, shutting out the Padres, who we've heard over and over and over again from everybody broadcasting Dodger games. They can't stop saying how hot the Padres are. Padres, best team in baseball since the All-Star break. Blah, blah, blah. Well, as I said at the end of the regular season, Padres won the season series against the Dodgers, but the Dodgers won the games that mattered. That final series of the regular season against the Dodgers against the Padres for the Dodgers, I think was huge that they took those 2 games. And the fact that they, after getting smoked 10-2, come back to win that game the way they did was awesome. I mean, that's exactly what they needed, to come out and dominate 8-0 and then keep their foot on the throat, keep their foot on the throttle, keep the Padres down, demoralized, frustrated, and then come out tonight and have more of that. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, to me, is overpaid, but tonight he was worth it. That doesn't mean he's bad. I just think the amount of money the Dodgers gave him was just too much. But tonight he came out and showed that he's a big game pitcher. So is it worth it? Are we like, hey, it's all cool, it's good, $300 million or whatever? I don't know. If he pitches like this more often than not, then yeah. If he can prove to be a big game pitcher, then I'm all about Yoshinobu Yamamoto earning that kind of money. I did have the feeling that he would come into this one and be good to go, because he learned a lot against them last time out. I can't find what the Dodgers-Mets record was. Last time the Dodgers played the Mets, though, it was May 29th, and they won 10-3 in New York. I guess we could just go. That's what we could do. We could go to the schedule and look at it that way. But the fact of the matter is, I feel like this is a nice matchup for the Dodgers because they're not super familiar with them. And ultimately, I feel like, yes, they won this series against the Padres. They won that last series of the regular season against the Padres and came out on top. But to me, it feels like sometimes the Dodgers' heads get in the way when these rival games happen. They get kind of caught up in the energy in a negative way. When you're facing a team like the Mets that you don't face all the time, it's just baseball. And we know the Dodgers are a good team. They're flexible, good pitching, good hitting. So they played the Mets in April, not May, April 19th, April 20th, April 21st. That was in LA. They won 1 of 3 there. They lost 9-4, 6-4, and then they won 10-0. Glasnow got the win there. Then at the end of May, I thought they only played him 3 times, but they played him 7 times. The end of May, a 4-game set at Citi Field, one of which was postponed. So then they played the 28th, 5-2 win there. Then they played again on the 28th. So a double header there. So not 4 games, 3 games, 3 at Citi Field and then 3 in LA. So they swept that last 3-game set at Citi Field. They swept the double header 5-2 and 10, and then 3-0. And then they won the final game 10-3. One of those games was that game where the reliever came in and the Dodgers shelled him and he got yanked from the game, threw his glove into the stands, and then was released by the team the next day. Can't remember that dude's name, but that's what happened in that series. So 6 games against the Mets. They won 4 of the 6, coming off the last 3 in a row. Again, a very different Mets team there than we'll see starting Sunday in LA. So I like our chances just because the fact of the matter is they're not a rival. It's just about baseball. They can focus on the game. Obviously, Met fans are going to show up. Met fans, New York fans support their team. But this is a matchup to me that doesn't have a ton of recent history anyway that gets in the way of the Dodgers performing. It's just about baseball. They can go out there and play. And the Mets have played well. They took care of the Phillies 3-1. And, I don't think they're favored in this. I'll have to look it up. But the fact of the matter is that, to me, I think the Dodgers are finding their momentum, their juju at the perfect time. And the momentum thing will work in favor of the Dodgers here for once, because the Mets have been sitting around for a few days, like the Dodgers did through the bye week before they faced the Padres after they beat the Braves. So that's working in favor of the Dodgers. That's a good thing, right? Finally, for once, it's something that is in favor of the Dodgers. They can keep that momentum rolling. Just one day. They're off tomorrow. Back at it on Sunday. Oh, I love that. Fantastic. 2-0 the final. Dodgers win the series 3-2. We'll get into the top of the lineup after the break. Not a lot of positivity there. Fortunately, the pitching staff did their job. Fortunately, some guys in the middle to the bottom of the lineup got hot. Teo, Kike with solo home runs. But the top of the lineup still a little lacking in productivity. That's going to have to change if they're going to get by the Mets. It's the Locked On Dodgers postcast after a 2-0 shutout of the Padres to win the series, the NLDS 3-2. You can watch us on the Locked On Sports LA YouTube channel, and we're on Locked On MLB tonight. Thank you for watching us there. You can also listen wherever you find your podcasts on the Locked On Dodgers podcast feed. Tonight's episode of the Locked On Dodgers postcast is brought to you by PrizePicks. Big fan of PrizePicks, although PrizePicks has not been a big fan of me of late. It is the best place to get real money sports action with over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings. PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You just pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks. Like I said tonight, I had 2 Padres and 2 Dodgers, and it worked out well for me. So as far as the Dodgers winning, I did not cash. I did this 2 nights ago. I did not cash, and I'm totally fine with that. So it definitely allowed me to do some reverse psychologizing. Sign up today and get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive that $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks also offers weekly promotions that can lead to big payouts like Taco Tuesday. Each Tuesday, PrizePicks discounts select player projections up to 25% to provide even more value for your lineups. Think Justin Jefferson will get more than 83.5 yards this week. Christian McCaffrey run for more than 75.5 yards. Cook up some hot takes with your friends and win real money this football season when you and your crew run your game on PrizePicks. Make sure you download the app and then sign up and go from there. Downloading the app today with the code LOCKEDONMLB will get you $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Download the app today, PrizePicks.com. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB to get $50 instantly off your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks, run your game. All right, a 2-0 win today. Yamamoto gets the win because Kike went deep. He went 5. Gave up no runs on 2 hits, and the biggest stat in his line for me is 1 walk. That's huge. 1 walk for the entire pitching staff tonight. 2 Ks for Yamamoto, 3 for Evan Phillips to strike out the side. That was a dominant performance there. 7th inning, Evan Phillips was locked in. Pitched an inning in 2/3. Vesia pitched 1/3 of an inning and then left the game early with some injury, which we don't know what that is yet. We'll have to wait and see. Hopefully it's nothing big, but it was good to see Kopech come in and dominate. Only 1 strikeout, but he was pumping it in there at triple digits. The strikeout to end the inning was 102. And then Treinen came in after Kopech threw 9 pitches. Treinen did the same thing. 9 pitches in the 9th. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. 0s across the board for Treinen. 7 Ks on the day for the Dodgers in the win. But top of the lineup. I guess you give a lot of credit to Darvish. He pitched well. Not well enough in a game where you couldn't give up a lot. He did. Even though it was just 2 runs, it was too many. But the Dodgers need more from the top of the lineup. Shohei Ohtani, not good again. He was okay last time out on Wednesday. Had a clutch RBI single to continue the dominance with runners in scoring position. Now 15 of 18 with RISP. But the Dodgers didn't have anything going on when he was on base tonight. He struck out 3 times. So he's going to have to get in the cage and work, find some momentum, which he can do. That's the great thing about Shohei. You can see a night like this where you're like shaking your head going, come on, Shohei, you're better than that. 3 Ks. Again, credit to Darvish. He was fantastic. But Shohei's got to be a little bit better. Put the ball in play. I'm not worried. He'll be back tomorrow or Sunday, dominating. He can turn it around like that and make us forget about a 3K night. The hat trick. Mookie Betts. Over. I thought Mookie Betts found it. Again, Darvish is good, so not great, but good. Freddie Freeman had a hit, left the game early for defensive reasons, but Teoscar and Kike got it done with home runs. 420 feet, 430 feet, both of them bombs. Max Muncy, over. Will Smith had a hit, which is good to see after the bomb he hit on Wednesday, the longest home run of the postseason at 432 feet. Kike with the home run, his postseason average 333, just like Teoscar. Or is that just for today? Because 1 for 3 is 333. That's got to be for the whole postseason. Why would they just put the average for one game? Yeah, because Tatis's average is 423, and he was 0 for tonight. So that's good to see that Teoscar and Kike have really solid batting averages this postseason. Gavin Lux was 0 for, Edman was 0 for, and that's the bottom of the lineup. So, hey, listen, I'm not going to cry over spilt milk and say, wow, would it be better if we won by more? Hey, this is a win, a dominant win. I don't know that I ever really felt, other than just not trying to jinx it, when my wife was saying, aren't you excited that they won? I'm like, that's not over yet. I didn't ever feel like this game was really, really in danger. I didn't have any of those, stomach turning moments, nail biting. Oh, come on, covering your eyes and that sort of stuff. I felt like the pitching just had the momentum, had the rhythm, had the energy, and the Padres had none of those things. The Dodgers kept them down with an 8-0 win in game 4 to level the series and force a game 5, and they just never got off the mat. And that is such a fantastic feeling. I have to go talk trash to all the San Diego bandwagoners that are like, Dodgers are going to lose. Dodgers suck. Blah, blah, blah. What are you saying now? How does that taste, San Diego? And by the way, for those of you that heard what I heard when I listened back to the show after Wednesday, I said something to the effect of the Dodgers handed the Padres their ass. And then the next word out of my mouth was, or the next sentence was, how does that taste? I was like, probably shouldn't say handed them their ass and how does that taste that close together. So if you heard that and was like, what? I apologize. I'm sorry. But hey, that was pure emotion to start the show after an 8-0 win. That was not scripted. That was me being excited as a fan. So it was fun and interesting to listen back to that show today. I listened back with my number one fan, my step-grandson, Everest, who's a big Shohei fan and was not worried about the 3 strikeouts tonight. He's fine. I'm a Shohei fan. I'm still a fan. Not a Dodger fan, but I'm a Shohei fan. I'm like, fine, we'll take it. Whatever. All right. 2-0 the final. Dodgers still celebrating. Oh, by the way, one of the things I got to watch as I was a little late to start the postcast here was David Vassay, Dodger reporter, in the clubhouse. After they won the division and celebrated with champagne, you'll remember the quote from Max Muncy. I don't know if you saw it. If you didn't, I talked about it. Max Muncy says to Vassay, how the F are you so dry? because he's in the clubhouse. And as I mentioned, if you're ever in there, whether you're a player or staff or a reporter, anybody in there, generally speaking, gets wet. You get champagne shrapnel, whether you want it or not. But somehow after that divisional celebration, Vassay was dry. Well, that didn't last long tonight. He was getting bombarded. They got him tonight. He was drenched. So he'll be smelling like champagne on his way home, which is awful. But it is so much fun and such a great feeling. So congratulations to the Dodgers winning the NLDS 3-2 over the Padres. Moving on to face the Mets. Game 1 of the NLCS starts on Sunday in LA, Dodger Stadium. I do not believe they will have a starter named as of yet, but more than likely it will be Jack Flaherty. And the game time will be 5:15 on Fox. So I'll talk to you right after that. Tomorrow is Trojans, Penn State. I'll be on the Locked On Trojans postcast right after that game. And then Sunday, it is Chargers, Broncos in Denver. That starts at 1:05. So we'll do the postcast for that. And then the Dodgers will start at 5:15 and we'll be on for the postcast right after that. So I'll talk to you guys then. Go Dodgers. Thank you for your time, your comments, your dedication to the Locked On Podcasting Network. We appreciate you allowing us to be your source for your team every day. Talk to you tomorrow after Trojans and then on Sunday after game 1 of the NLCS. Have a good night. Talk to you later.